While everyone's panic buying rice and beans during the next crisis, smart preppers know these shelves will be completely empty. But there's a secret category of foods that always gets left behind, and they're actually better for survival. Here's the problem most people don't realize. Preppers everywhere are following the same playbooks, shopping at the same stores, and stockpiling the exact same items. And the moment disaster strikes, those items disappear first. You're left scrambling for alternatives, often paying more for less nutrition. In this video, I'm revealing 11 overlooked, affordable foods that remain available during every shortage, offer superior nutrition, and can last for decades. These aren't theory. They're battle-tested over 13 years of real emergencies, power outages, and supply chain breakdowns. You'll learn exactly what to buy, where to find it, and why it outperforms conventional prep foods. Welcome to Food Decider, where we cut through the noise and show you what actually works when it matters most. If you're serious about real food security, hit that like button and subscribe, because we're about to change how you think about emergency preparedness. Let's start with why the standard prepping approach is fundamentally broken. Think about it. When crisis hits, everyone rushes to the same stores with the same shopping lists: rice, beans, canned soup, freeze-dried meals. Within hours, those shelves are stripped bare. You know why? Because everyone reads the same blogs, watches the same YouTube channels, and follows the same advice. But here's what most people miss. There's always food left behind. Not because it's inferior, quite the opposite. These products get ignored by the masses, yet they're invaluable for any long-term emergency. They're affordable, found in common stores, and pack nutrient profiles that sustain both body and morale. The key is knowing what to look for while everyone else is fighting over the last bag of rice. Let's talk about the first item that always survives panic buying: bouillon cubes. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's just a flavor enhancer. That's exactly why most preppers overlook them, and that's exactly why they're genius. One bouillon cube equals 2 cups of broth, but takes up almost no space. I've used cubes that were 3 years old, and they tasted just as fresh. But here's the real secret. During a crisis, bland, repetitive food crushes morale. You can only eat plain rice and beans for so many days before your spirits start to break. A single bouillon cube transforms that same meal into something comforting, something that reminds you of better times. And there's more. That concentrated sodium and those minerals, they act as electrolyte replacements, reducing your risk of dehydration. The military has known this for decades. When you're stressed, rationing water, and physically active during an emergency, electrolytes become critical. Storage is simple. Remove the cubes from their cardboard packaging, store them in airtight mason jars with silica gel packets, and they'll outlast even your rice. During every shortage I've witnessed, bouillon cubes remain untouched on shelves. They're invisible to the panicked masses, which makes them perfect for your hidden stockpile. Next up is something most preppers have never even heard of: nutritional yeast. If you think this is just for vegans, you're making a massive mistake. This cheesy-tasting, shelf-stable sprinkle is perfect for transforming bland meals and providing critical nutrition that most survival foods completely lack. 2 tablespoons deliver 8 grams of complete protein, meaning all the amino acids your body needs, plus loads of B vitamins, especially B12. It lasts up to 2 years in cool, dark storage, and you can sprinkle it over rice, vegetables, popcorn, or mix it into soups. Instantly, you've added flavor and nutrition. During a 10-day power outage, nutritional yeast kept our meals exciting. My kids were actually asking for seconds on rice and vegetables, something that never happened with plain survival food. And because most preppers have never heard of it, this stuff remains widely available even during panic buying. You can walk into any health food store during a crisis and find shelves full of nutritional yeast while everything else is gone. Now let's address something critical that most prep foods completely miss: fat. You need fat for warmth, energy, vitamin absorption, and cognitive health. Regular prep foods are typically low fat, which is a serious problem during extended emergencies. This is where canned coconut milk becomes a game changer. 1 can contains 50 grams of healthy fats. It lasts up to 5 years unrefrigerated, making it vastly superior to any dairy product. You can add it to rice, soups, or even drink it straight. It stretches meals and boosts calories when you're rationing food. And here's the kicker: It's often under $2 per can at Asian markets. When cold weather emergencies happen, those extra fats become even more critical. Your body burns significantly more calories trying to stay warm. With coconut milk in your stockpile, you get the fat and calories you need to thrive, not just survive. And while everyone's fighting over the last gallon of regular milk that'll spoil in days without power, you've got years of shelf-stable nutrition sitting quietly in your pantry. Let me introduce you to an ancient survival food with unique benefits: potato flour. This isn't regular flour. It's a gluten-free powerhouse with up to 10 years of shelf life when stored properly in airtight containers. It's high in resistant starch, which feeds your gut bacteria and keeps you fuller longer, critical when you're rationing food. You can use it to make breads, thicken soups and stews, or substitute it in any gluten-free recipe. During a crisis, stores won't stock specialty gluten-free options. If you or anyone in your family has dietary restrictions, potato flour guarantees lasting nutrition for everyone. The storage hack here is simple but effective: food-grade buckets with Gamma Seal lids and oxygen absorbers. This combination turns potato flour into a prep with NASA-level longevity. I've had buckets stored for years that opened with flour as fresh as the day I sealed them. Here's something that'll blow your mind. Ghee, or clarified butter, isn't just fancy cooking fat. It's a historic prepping goldmine with unbeatable shelf life and zero refrigeration requirements. Archaeologists have found 5,000-year-old ghee that was still edible. Let that sink in. 5,000 years. Ghee doesn't go rancid, even in extreme heat or cold. It actually improves in flavor over time. In survival scenarios, this is invaluable. 1 tablespoon provides pure energy and essential fats that your body needs to function. And from a morale perspective, adding a tablespoon of ghee to rice creates restaurant-quality flavor, boosting spirits on tough days when everyone's feeling the stress. Grass-fed ghee costs a bit more up front, but it delivers vastly improved nutrition. Keep it in its original glass jar, no special storage needed. Just put it in your pantry and forget about it until you need it. While other fats and oils go bad, your ghee just keeps getting better. Most preppers completely overlook dried seaweed, and that's a critical mistake. Varieties like nori, wakame, and dulse pack in micronutrients that conventional prep foods simply cannot match. Here's the big one: iodine. 1 sheet of seaweed provides your weekly iodine needs. Iodine is crucial for thyroid function, which regulates your metabolism, energy levels, and body temperature. During emergencies, thyroid problems often get neglected, leading to serious health issues down the line. Seaweed solves this problem completely. The shelf life is almost unbelievable. Japanese researchers found seaweed that was edible after 1,000 years. It requires no refrigeration, takes up minimal space, and different varieties offer different benefits. Nori delivers protein, wakame provides magnesium, and dulse offers a natural salty flavor that can replace table salt. The best part? Walk into any Asian grocery store during a shortage, and the seaweed shelves are fully stocked. Most preppers ignore it because they don't understand its value or know how to use it. That's their loss and your advantage. Let's talk about chia seeds. These might seem like a health food fad, but they're actually an ancient survival staple. The Aztecs prized them so highly that they used them as currency. Aztec warriors sustained themselves on chia seeds during long campaigns. The omega-3 content lasts for years, with more per teaspoon than a serving of salmon. But here's where it gets really interesting for survival. Chia seeds absorb 12 times their weight in water. This helps your body retain hydration when water is scarce, a potentially life-saving feature in certain emergencies. They form a gel in your stomach, aiding digestion and keeping you full longer. When you're rationing food, prolonged satiety is critical. You can eat them raw, mix them with water, sprinkle them on food, or use them in baking. No cooking needed, which means no fuel wasted. With a 5-year shelf life in vacuum-sealed containers, chia seeds become the ultimate portable, shelf-stable protein and fiber source. A small bag takes up almost no space, but provides massive nutritional benefits. Now, I know what you're thinking about instant noodles. That's junk food. And you'd be right if you're buying the cheap stuff at regular grocery stores. But high-quality options from Asian markets are a completely different story, and they're a tactical choice for both nutrition and psychological health. Brands like Indomie, Nissin, and Samyang offer real wheat or egg-based noodles with 8 to 10 grams of protein per serving. The seasoning packets contain genuine spices, dried vegetables, and diverse flavors that keep meals interesting. They're ready in minutes, require very little water, and travel well. Here's why this matters more than you think. Food monotony during emergencies damages decision-making ability and morale. Variety isn't just about enjoying your food, it's an actual survival strategy. When you're stressed and tired, forcing yourself to eat the same bland meal day after day creates psychological fatigue. Your brain needs stimulation, and interesting food provides that. Store these noodles in plastic bins to protect them from moisture and pests, and you've got comfort food that'll keep you going and help you stay calm when everything else is chaos. Let me introduce you to the secret protein weapon that hikers and serious survivalists have known about for decades. Textured vegetable protein, or TVP. This stuff is a game changer for emergency food supplies. 50 grams of protein per cup. It rehydrates to mimic the texture of ground meat. The shelf life is 10 to 15 years when stored properly. And here's the cost advantage that will make you wonder why everyone isn't using this. A 1-pound bag costs about $6 and rehydrates to 3 pounds of meat equivalent. That's far cheaper and significantly lighter than canned or freeze-dried options. You can use it in chili, tacos, pasta sauces, basically anywhere you'd use ground meat. Season it properly, and most people can't tell the difference. Store it in airtight containers with oxygen absorbers, and it'll last nearly indefinitely. The protein density alone makes TVP essential for any serious stockpile. During extended emergencies, maintaining muscle mass and energy levels requires adequate protein. Most plant-based survival foods are protein poor. TVP solves this problem elegantly and affordably. Powdered milk is a classic prep item, but most people do it completely wrong, which destroys its shelf life.
The critical mistake is leaving it in the cardboard packaging. Within months, it starts to spoil. The right way changes everything. Repack powdered milk in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, and suddenly you're looking at 15 to 20 years of shelf life. That's the difference between wasted money and reliable nutrition. Powdered milk provides solid calcium, protein, and vitamin D. It's versatile enough for drinking, baking, or even making cheese and yogurt if you know what you're doing. Here's a pro tip. Start mixing it with regular milk now to get your family used to the taste. Don't wait until an emergency to introduce it, because the taste difference can be jarring for kids and picky eaters. Gradual adaptation means seamless transition when you actually need to rely on it. With properly stored powdered milk, you maintain access to comfort foods and valuable nutrients when fresh dairy completely vanishes from stores. That psychological comfort becomes incredibly important during long-term emergencies. Now let's talk about the backbone of any serious long-term food security plan: hard winter wheat berries. If you're committed to true preparedness, this is non-negotiable. The shelf life is over 30 years when stored in food-grade buckets with oxygen absorbers. 30 years! These whole grains maintain their calories, healthy fats, and micronutrient content far longer than any processed food ever could. And the versatility is unmatched. Grind them for flour, sprout them for fresh greens, cook them whole like rice, or even make wheatgrass juice. Here's the caloric density that makes wheat berries essential. 1,600 calories per pound. In true survival mode, calorie density matters more than almost anything else. You need energy to stay warm, stay alert, and handle physical demands. Wheat berries deliver that energy in a compact, storable form. A one-time $60 investment in a hand-crank grain mill means unlimited fresh flour whenever you need it. No electricity required, no dependence on supply chains. Just you, your wheat berries, and the ability to make bread, pasta, pancakes, whatever you need. So we've covered 11 foods that most preppers completely overlook, but understanding what to buy is only part of the equation. You also need to understand why these foods work and how to store them properly. These foods are ignored during panic buying rushes, which means shelves stay full even when everything else disappears. They offer greater shelf life than conventional options, their nutritional profiles are often superior, and in most cases they're actually cheaper than prepper-marketed alternatives that get hyped in blogs and videos. The key is thinking independently rather than following the crowd. When conventional wisdom fails, and it always does during real crises, you need to have already made the smart choices. Storage strategies matter just as much as what you buy. Use airtight containers, mason jars, food-grade buckets, and mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. These reduce moisture and oxygen exposure, which are the two main factors that degrade food. Practice rotation by using and replacing your oldest inventory first. This ensures nothing goes to waste and everything stays fresh. Keep most items in dark, cool storage, pantries or cupboards away from sunlight and humidity. Heat and light accelerate degradation. And here's something most people skip. Actually use these foods in regular meals. Get your family adapted to their taste and texture now. That makes the transition seamless if you ever actually face an emergency. You can start with as little as $50 and build a 90-day food supply using these principles. Focus on low-cost, high-value purchases that require minimal storage space. Learn which emergency meals need little or no cooking fuel, critical if you're without power for extended periods. Stock some barter-ready snacks and goods. Then expand step by step, from 1 week to 2 weeks to a month to 3 months. The mindset shift is what matters most. True resilience isn't about buying what everyone else does. It's about understanding nutrition, shelf life, and psychological factors. It's about expertly using low-profile, high-nutrient foods that few people even consider. These 11 foods form the backbone of a sustainable, budget-friendly, and morale-boosting stockpile. They've been tested and trusted over years of real-life emergencies. While the masses panic buy and shelves empty of the usual suspects, these items stay available, quietly waiting to be discovered by people smart enough to look beyond the conventional wisdom. Only with thoughtful planning, diverse nutrition, and creative sourcing can you build a stockpile that lasts not just through the next crisis, but through any uncertainty ahead. Your family's health depends on it, their spirits depend on it, and your peace of mind depends on knowing you've prepared intelligently while everyone else follows the herd. Every crisis teaches the same lesson. Standard prepper fare vanishes instantly, leaving most people at the mercy of luck and leftovers. With these 11 foods in your pantry, you've built a fortress, nutritionally complete, morale-sustaining, and immune to the panic that empties stores. Start by exploring your local Asian market, health food store, or online suppliers for these under-the-radar staples. Experiment with them in everyday meals and gradually build your stockpile. Remember, resilience isn't just about what you store. It's about knowing how to make the most of what others overlook. If this video gave you new strategies for real food security, hit that like button and subscribe to Food Decider. Share this with anyone who's serious about preparedness beyond the basics. Stay prepared, stay thoughtful, and keep seeking unconventional strategies. True security lies beyond the crowd, where smart preppers quietly thrive.